All right, Turnabout Legacy. A big one. We're beginning. Episode 3, Turnabout Legacy. You hear 3 p.m. cake extravaganza. What shall we make today, kids?
Samson.
And Judy's bake and ball.
Okay. That's... macarons, waffles with cream. Chiffon cakes that are light as a dream. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you. But where? Over there! The oven's got something special to share. Ping! Now, let's see what we've got for you. It's cooking time. Are you ready to make something special together? Looks like a window and rain. Wow, talk about a blast from the past. Hey, Gregory. I'm going back there tomorrow with your boy. I'm finally going to find out what happened 18 years ago. April 2nd, 10:05 a.m., Zodiac Hall. Fountain Room. Okay. Hey, we're right here now. Well, Fender, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery of all places? Hey, you had nothing going on. Seemed like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star sign stuff together. I'm leaving. Chill, big guy, I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident, yeah? Your old man's last case? Of course. Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. And I reviewed them again last night after your invite. See? He brought him with. I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are somewhat hazy. Hazy, yeah. One way to put it. As a child, I was completely in awe of my father. The sight of him in court was inspirational. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. And opposite him, the man who would become my mentor, Manfred von Karma. It was quite a case. However, it ended with the conviction of the accused. Ah, so you were there too. You were in the courtroom for Gregory's final outing. Well, that'll make explaining things easier. I wanted you to know something, see? That's something being what really went down, not the truth in those files, but the capital T truth. It was 18 years ago, smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. The buildings were covered with a blanket of snow. It looked like the streets were lined with popsicles. But things weren't so innocent behind those frozen doors. In fact, some pretty sordid stuff went down. This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today. 18 years ago. That's right. This is the farthest back the series has ever gone so far in the main timeline. I mean, obviously, we've got Great Ace Attorney that's like way before this, but this is the biggest flashback ever case. And yeah, it's Christmas Eve. And we are going to be playing as Gregory Edgeworth. December 24th, 5 p.m., Detention Center, Visitor's Room. Hey, Mr. E, this one really came out of the blue, huh? It did. We were called in before the ink on the arrest papers was even dry. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I'm here visiting a client with my assistant, Eddie Fender. A murder on Christmas Eve? What's the world coming to? In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw two timely saviors a-comin' my way. Welcome, my friends, to the visitor's room. And if we're not friends yet, I'm sure we'll be soon. Whoa! Talk about an entrance. the guard is doing the jazz hands on his knees. I love it. I was not expecting that. Neither was I. Sorry if I surprised you. I'm just so happy to see you both. Thanks so much for coming out. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You're the accused, I take it? I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. I look forward to representing you. Edgeworth & Co. Law Office's senior partner, Gregory Edgeworth. There we go. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Pleased to meet you, sir. I'll do, everything I can to help. Come now, Edward. Calm down, please. You'll have to forgive him. He's still new to this. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's far from fully fledged lawyer material yet. Nonetheless, I'm hoping he'll be of some assistance in investigating the particulars of this case. Gregory and Eddie, it's an honor to meet you both. My job as a defense attorney is to save my clients from wrongful convictions. So the first thing to do is establish whether or not he is truly innocent. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself. What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name! I'm Samson Tangaroa. What? It really is you? Samson Tangaroa? The world's greatest confectioner? You flatter me, my young friend. Then call me Samson. All my pals do. Wow! Thanks, Samson, I will! I can't believe I'm meeting you in person! It seems Eddie knows something of our client. Mr. E! Mr. E! It's the Samson Tangaroa! The singing, dancing, confectionery-making sensation! What shall we make today, kids? Macarons, waffles with cream, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you. Look there. What? Where? Over there. The oven's got something special to share. Now let's see what we've got for you. I almost started dancing along. That was amazing. No way. I gotta sing with Samson Tangaroa? This is a dream come true. Thanks, little pal. It means a lot to hear you say that. My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course. I'm sure you're both very busy. All right. Where would you like me to start? Why don't you present my attorney's badge? Hey, look. It's an attorney's badge. We haven't had one of these in, like a game. Look at this. Thank you for agreeing to represent me. The scales on my badge mean something, Mr. Tangaroa. They represent justice and fairness. We'll see to it that you get a fair trial, and if you're innocent, you will walk free. But until then, I'm gonna need you to sit tight and trust me. I will. I do. Thank you. Alright, Samson Tangaroa. So you're not just a confectioner, but also a singer and a dancer? I sure am. When I'm having fun, my body just starts moving. You must really enjoy making desserts. Wouldn't be much of a confectioner if I didn't. I live to make sweets that will bring joy to others. Hey, they're not just things, they're works of art. Sparkling, dazzling, mouth-watering creations, the stuff that dreams are made of. So he aims to create joyous and inspirational pieces, does he? Alright, about the incident. I understand that the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest there when a body was found inside one of my creations. Inside one of your... No way! The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it, and now here I am. But I could never take a life. Never. I'm sure the police will see that too in time. They'll realize their mistake. I sure hope so. And what can you tell us about the victim? His name is Artie Frost. He was taking part in the contest. Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of beauty. I just don't understand. Why did he have to die? I'm sorry. He seems genuinely upset over the victim's death. I think I have a pretty good measure of the man now. Mr. Tangaroa, there's just one last thing I need to confirm with you. You didn't kill Mr. Frost, correct? Correct. I swear to you I didn't do it. Like I told you, I could never take a life. Never! He seems quite sincere. All right, I'm going to take you at your word. Thank you for being so forthright with me. Likewise, it's good to talk to somebody other than those detectives. We'll head to the scene of the crime and see what we can learn. We'll be in touch when we have something more to tell you. Goodbye, Gregory. Goodbye, Eddie. I'm counting on you both. December 24th, 6 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. Hey, this looks like the exact same place that Miles and Eddie are in the modern day. It's pretty cold out there, huh, Mr. E? I never saw so much snow. Yes, and it doesn't seem like it'll be letting up anytime soon. But just look at this place. What a sweet house Simpson's got. It's huge! Yes. Big enough to hold an international confectionery contest, no less. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Come on in, we'll have us some fun. Oh, is that her over there? Oh, no. Are you all right? I'm sorry. Would you happen to be Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance? I would. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Eddie Fender, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, welcome to our humble abode. Judy Bound, it's an honor to meet you. I'm the housekeeper here, and Mr. Tangaroa's assistant. You're no housekeeper. You're Judy Bound. The Judy Bound. You know a little something of my work? A little? I watch you on TV every chance I get. I'm Bacon Bop's biggest fan. It's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nothing without our fans. And what might Bacon Bop be? It's only the biggest show on TV. Every kid on the planet loves it. The dynamic duo of Samson and Judy make delicious sweet stuff, all while singing and dancing. Like this. Check it out. Oh no, again. What shall we make today, kids? Cookie dough, caramel too, fluffy cho cream tiramisu. Everyone, come along! Bacon treats with a smile and a song. There, oh, where, who? There, it's true! The oven's got something special for you! Ping! Just take a bite and you will see! That was a wonderful performance, Mr. Fender. Bravo! I dance along every time I watch the show. Perhaps Miles might enjoy it too. I'll suggest it later. But all this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Here, nothing relaxes the body and mind quite like a cup of tea. Those are some cool teacups, the star shapes and stuff. They're all set. Ah, this is Ceylon, correct? It's delicious. Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall.
Interesting. So this is what Ceylon tea tastes like, huh?
How odd. The saucer's cold.
Yes, it's so the tea cools down more quickly, I'm afraid. Some of our guests don't like it too hot.
I see. These teacups are very unique, too. The design is really something.
You think so? Thank you so much. I ordered them all the way from France. They're my absolute favorite. They were designed by a marvelous sculptor named Paul Halik. You heard of him? He makes the most amazing tableware in the world.
You're clearly a big fan of his work.
Oh, I am. These teacups are my greatest treasure.
She's certainly not afraid to show when she's passionate about something. If you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to move on to the reason we're here. Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier?
Of course. I'm sorry for getting so distracted. I guess I'm still in shock. Because I'm the one who found the body, you see.
You discovered the victim? Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations?
It is. We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when I heard the sound of something big collapsing coming from Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? Ah! I opened the door and went inside, and there was Mr. Frost's body.
Thank you. I'm sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience.
Think nothing of it. Please, I only wish I had more to tell you.
Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to begin our investigation of the crime scene.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson. He's no murderer. He could never do something like that.
Of course.
Leave it to us, Miss Bound. Thank you so much. I'll go serve the others their tea then.
Come, Eddie, to the scene of the crime.
Yes, sir, Mr. E.
And off they go to investigate. Hey! There's somebody who looks awfully familiar. Endless Gray. December 24th, contest venue, Tangaroa's room.
No way. Everything in this room's made of chocolate. I can't believe I'm getting to see so many of Samson's creations this up close and personal.
I might be more excited myself if the room wasn't a murder scene.
Yeah, just hearing you say that sends a shiver down my spine.
That might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it is pretty chill. Shoo!
Oh.
Defense on the scene already? That was fast.
A pleasure to meet you, Gregory Edgeworth. I'm representing Mr. Tangaroa. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender.
Nice to meet you.
Bad. Detective Tyrrell Bad.
The detective in charge is named Bad, a man of few words.
Ah, he ate it!
Something about this just doesn't taste right.
Ah,
You're eating your notepaper?
he likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally, I'm afraid. It helps him to digest and remember them. It's a little quirk of his. Please try to ignore it. Although I'd be the first to admit that's easier said than done. With introductions out of the way, Detective Bad, would you mind if we joined you in investigating the scene?
Sorry. Not gonna happen.
What? How come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney.
Yeah, and attorneys will do anything to get them off the hook. Even put words in their clients' mouths. You think I need that on my crime scene?
Mr. Edgeworth would never do something like that.
I don't trust attorneys. Okay, kid.
Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct?
That's usually how it works. Yeah. What of it?
Then extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent. and I would like the chance to prove it.
You believe he's innocent, and you didn't even see the scene yet? That's some flimsy lawyering.
That's exactly why I wish to see the scene for myself. I need to ensure that my belief is based on solid evidence and sound reasoning.
You about to tell me you're not leaving until I let you look over the scene?
Yeah, I am.
Fine. Knock yourselves out.
Thank you, Detective. The lollipop!
But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys. If you're good with that, go ahead and get to it.
That was a lollipop this whole time?
I must admit, I didn't see that coming either. You better get started then. I'll need you to take notes, Eddie.
On it, Mr. E.
Let's get this over with.
Begin investigation. Contest venue. All right. Hey, we got... Bad is following us. I like it. He's not leaving until he investigates every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. That's right. All right. Well, we can talk.
What is it?
Wanna look at my badge?
Attorneys are bad luck. Nothing good ever happens with you guys around. You trample the scene, jump to conclusions.
You really think that of all of us? Me included? Not a yes, but not a no either. Notice anything?
You're doing this all wrong. An investigation is like a popsicle. You walk around the scene, look at stuff, talk to witnesses. Everything you do, it's like a lick of that popsicle. Slowly, you eat away at it. Until all that's left is the stick. And written on that stick is the truth.
Then I suppose I better hope it doesn't say guilty.
Okay. It's like a comedy routine at this point. Well, this is interesting. We have a giant chocolate ship with a body in there, outline. But let's just look around. I noticed this teacup is familiar. Some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is of the same design as the one Miss Bounds served us with earlier. You think Samson could have been drinking tea out of that?
The pot and cup were dusted for prints. His were the only ones they found.
And was that the case for the utensils, too?
Everything else had been washed, though there weren't any prints to find.
And if Mr. Tangaroa was wearing gloves while he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found on this teapot and cup. A Paul Halik piece with Tangaroa's fingerprints. Okay. That's good to know. What about over here? Aha. So this is where the body was discovered.
Yeah, he took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it.
Let's see. It's really rather impressive, making an entire ship out of chocolate.
That's Samson Tangaroa for you. Don't you just want to take a big bite out of it? Which part to bite first, though? That's the real head scratcher, you know?
Bite any part of it, kid, and you'll be off this crime scene so fast your head will spin.
Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that.
I do sometimes wish Eddie could keep his cool a little better. Okay, what else we got? One of the stands for the ship is broken. Ah, because Gregory can use logic too.
The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think... Could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship?
If he was, this becomes an accidental death and not a murder.
You too serious?
Don't worry, Detective, for the moment. We're simply discussing a possibility.
I was being serious, though. I guess superpowers are genetic, yes. Yeah, it's the mutant power of logic. What's this?
It appears the body was inside the treasure chest.
Yeah, one by the name of Bound found it.
Samson, are you in here? Ah!
Yes.
Seems she heard something breaking and came in to see what it was.
The sound of something breaking. Okay. If only we had just a little more information. There's something else in here. It looks like a seal of some kind with somebody's initials and an intricate shape carved into it.
Is it for making those fancy wax things on documents? Do you think it belonged to the victim?
No idea, but it's gotta get logged anyway. So I'll take that.
Seal has been added. Okay. It says H9 on it, I think.
Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body?
Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see it for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma.
And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet?
You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that.
The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. Would you mind if we borrowed this?
No skin off my nose. Not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body.
An instant camera? Like it's disposable or something?
No, it means that it develops the pictures right there and then when you take them.
No way! That sounds pretty convenient.
Now then, I better get my facts straight and take down some notes of my own. There's something in this picture that contradicts with the current crime scene. I'll need to call on my powers of deduction to figure out why.
Alright. Let's keep looking. Well, we can talk to these guys.
What are you investigating, officer? Sir, we're just taking the temperature of the water here.
And what have you learned?
It's warm, sir. The stream in each room flows into the main fountain, and then the water is circulated back to the rooms. Unusual, to say the least. I've never seen a house quite like this one.
Rich folks. They're all crazy.
How about you?
How's it looking over here, officer? Nothing of interest in that cupboard, or...
Yes, sir.
So, there is?
No, there isn't. Just a blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir.
You heard the man, Mr. Attorney. Nothing to add, am I right?
No.
So, you do have something to add?
No.
Can't get a straight answer out of anybody.
Perhaps you should ask a straight question.
Okay. What about this guy in the corner posing like a JoJo character? Wait, does this say A Diary of Despair? Angel's Cookbook. The Dreamers... What is all this?
This is a fine selection of nautical paraphernalia.
You think one of them could be the murder weapon?
No, they're all made out of chocolate. You'd have a hard time bludgeoning somebody to death with one of them.
Can't tell what's real in here.
They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. A true testament to Mr. Tangaroa's skill.
Is that book chocolate? A chocolate book? What else we got? Oh, gloves.
Gloves. Tangaroa wore them when he was working on his masterpiece over there. They're conveniently good at hiding fingerprints, too.
I suppose it's possible to employ them in such a manner. But is it really all that suspicious to find a pair of gloves in a kitchen like this?
I'm a detective. Everything's suspicious. That's the job.
What else we got? Oh, yeah. We already... Yeah, same conversation. What about this?
The Red Rover and the Crimson Tide. It looks like this title is the inspiration for everything on display here in this room. The ship and the treasure chest, of course, but also all the other nautical objects on display. It's certainly a suitably grand theme with which to showcase Mr. Tangaroa's talents. Let's talk to you. Whose name I do not know in the... I remember this guy's name in the fan translation. I'm curious what it is now. And you are?
Sorry. Meditating. Did you want something, detective?
Oh, I'm an attorney, not a detective. Gregory Edgeworth, a pleasure to meet you.
And I'm his assistant, Eddie Fender.
I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto.
Okay. His name was, I think, Dane Gustavia in the original.
I'm a confectioner. Here for the contest.
You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto?
Whoa.
The art of air and sugar.
No way, look at that! It's a little baby seahorse!
It's a dragon. A noble, soaring creature of the skies.
That's a dragon?
It does look more aquatic than airborne.
No need to sugarcoat it. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Jingfa when this is all over. I need to train hard.
Perhaps we should get off the subject of his design sense for now. So, what are you doing in here, Mr. Gusto? I didn't think they were allowing civilians on the scene yet.
Detective wanted to know more about one of the pieces in here.
Makes sense, seeing as he's a contestant. Perhaps I should ask him a few questions of my own. First, look at my badge.
Interesting design. Yes, I could do something with this. Can I borrow it?
I'm afraid not. It's rather important. I can't bear the thought of it coming to any harm in Mr. Gusto's hands. Alright. Carmelo Gusto. Those are some interesting implements you use, Mr. Gusto.
Sugar blowing pumps. They put air into the sugar.
They're so cool. It's like watching a sword master do his thing.
I'm no master. Not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another. That's why I wear red. That way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. The way of the confectioner is a lonely one. You never stop learning. Not until you die.
The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one, too, if he's injuring himself on a daily basis.
Confectionery contest.
What can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, flavor doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play.
The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as art.
Confectionery as art?
Art you can eat. Every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible.
The whole place does kind of smell like chocolate.
Tangaroa is a genius. A once-in-a-generation talent. Flavor and flair. He has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confections himself, you can't win.
I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kind of hard, yeah?
As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here. Nothing else matters.
So you're competing for a title, effectively?
And a treasure. The ultimate cookbook. Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's the list of rules that was given out to contestants.
A piece of paper listing the rules for the contest. So this is like Iron Chef confectionery. Alright, about the incident.
Sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over.
How was the judging organized?
It started at 3 p.m. Tangaroa began making the rounds right about then. He left his own room, then worked his way around the venue clockwise.
Gusto cut it on his eye. Yeah, it does. It's like he sliced into his hat, into his own eye. Somehow Because of his many injuries with pumping sugar with air.
My creations were first to be judged.
Okay, so hang on. There's 4 rooms: Tangaroa's room, Gusto's room, Scone's room, and Frost's room. So Frost is the victim. Tangaroa is the suspect and our defendant. Gusto is the guy we're talking to now. Scone, that's interesting. Her name was Scone in the no, it was Scones in the original fan translation too. Okay, so we went in there.
After that, he went to Scone's room. She's another one of the contestants.
What can you tell us about her?
Ruthless, brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Cream, some kind of dreamscape. Then, last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice, sculptured this time, or so I heard. Bound found the body while Tangaroa was still making the rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging. Claims he didn't know a thing about it till afterward. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work, even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. Pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book.
I don't have enough information to challenge him on that yet. By the way, Detective Bad, what were you and Mr. Gusto talking about earlier?
I was gonna ask about the piece on the wall here. The one in the frame. Seemed like something was off. Thought I'd better ask somebody who knows about this stuff. But then you bozos showed up and pulled me away from my very important work.
Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together.
Can't take a hint, can you?
Mr. Gusto, would you mind helping us out?
Of course, confectionery is my life. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Let's look around. Diary of Despair.
It's a journal belonging to the captain of the chocolate ship. Also made of chocolate. A diary of despair. That's some title.
Come hearken, see how he crossed the sea and rode the red tide to misery. Quite a Johnny rhyme for such a tragic-sounding tale.
Yeah, okay.
Candelabra made of chocolate. There's a title here. The Light of Life.
Well, this particular light seems to be missing one of its life-giving flames. Does it have some sort of symbolic meaning? Or could it be...
Yeah. So I'm assuming these are chocolate too. So we have a chocolate candle bulb missing? That's weird. Or a light?
Looks like a fire alarm.
Yeah, and before you start prodding it, it's not made of chocolate. Push it and bells will start ringing. People will come running from the security room. Whole bunch of hassle, so don't. I know you want to, but don't.
Honestly, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind.
Typical attorney.
What does being an attorney have to do with anything?
Oh, bad. What's... I noticed there's like a leaf here, and there's one missing over here in this Angel's Cookbook. Also, there is clearly a melted hand. If this is made out of chocolate as well, somebody was messing with this.
Are these
Finger marks?
Yeah. We don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID.
Finger marks without prints. They could certainly be important to the case.
Frame finger marks. All right. It's a real head scratcher, all right.
Not really. I'm guessing whoever it was wore gloves.
Oh, where's your sense of romance, of adventure?
There doesn't tend to be much of either at a crime scene, Eddie.
How about this? Who knew you could make a picture this pretty out of chocolate? Samson really is a god among men.
Is it really made of chocolate, though? It looks far too much like a regular illustration to me.
You have a good eye. I'm impressed. That's no piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook. The ultimate cookbook.
In other words, the grand prize.
What? So it's not made of chocolate after all?
No, the book is simply enframed in some. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he gathered us here to explain the rules.
So the participants knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time.
Anyway, you see it too, right? The frame. Something's missing.
Ah, the oddity Detective Bad was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier. Yes. You're right, Detective. Something is missing from this frame.
So it's not just me.
Huh? What's missing?
I'd better show Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate. I'm right on it. Okay, perfect. What? Look at the decorative work in the corner here. Something's missing, no?
Oh yeah, it's different from the other side.
That's not like Tangaroa. The balance is all wrong. But that's not all. Take a look around. Every confection in this room is missing some small bit.
You're right. The candle holder, the nautical stuff, they're all like that. Did somebody deliberately damage them?
That's a very good question.
Or did Tangaroa just want it to look like somebody messed with his work?
He'd never do that to his own creations. Never!
Could this have some deeper meaning for the case?
Achoo!
Are you alright, Eddie?
Yeah, but it sure is chilly in here.
Yes, wasn't exactly warm out in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket?
No, I'm fine. And besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge.
I did, didn't I?
Why do they have the heat down so low? Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind that panel on the wall. What panel?
Look at that, it was here this whole time.
There's one in each of the contest rooms. Tangaroa hid them so they wouldn't spoil the aesthetic of our works.
And what do the controls do?
They adjust the temperature and the lighting. Goes all the way down to negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to keep any confectionery from melting.
So in effect, each room is a giant freezer.
It's 59 degrees in here. No wonder I'm cold. Hey, Detective Bad, you, mind if we turn it up a little?
Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work.
But I'm not a detective.
The same goes for attorneys, Eddie. We must never disturb the scene of the crime.
Get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it. You know the temperatures by heart, huh? Guess it is your job. It's the very least I should know. Any real confectioner should be able to tell you that, and more. Alright, what about lollipops and cream? If it's not too hot or too humid, a lollipop should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees. Need to watch out for heat and humidity, huh? Duly noted.
Detective Bad kind of brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he?
I suppose he must be very fond of them. I don't believe there's any more to be found here. Alright.
I think it's time to do some logicking then. Alright. Blunt force trauma. Broken stand. What was the sound Bound heard coming from Tangaroa's room? I'm assuming the sound of something breaking in the broken stand connect here. Yes, okay.
The stand broke, and the ship collapsed with it. And the loud sound it made brought Miss Bound running.
Yeah, said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here.
But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break?
Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go.
Could that really have been the case?
Damaged creations. What about that? Damaged creations and why did it break? Because if someone was going around damaging everything in the room, they would also damage the ship.
All of Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out.
Do you think it could have been the killer?
It's certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in our mystery person's tampering spree. And when it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise.
Alright. We have more logicking to do, right? No. Any more... The scene of the crime, we can talk to him about that.
Nothing has been moved since the body was found, correct?
Preserve the scene. That's rule number 1 of any investigation. They took the body away, but everything else, untouched.
Could you tell us a little more about the state of the body before it was taken away?
Bound took a picture. You'll have to make do with that, Mr. Lawyer.
I get the feeling that the good detective is none too fond of defense attorneys.
He said that directly to your face several times. Yes.
Probably best not to rely on him too much and search the scene for clues and contradictions myself.
Alright. Well, let's look at this again.
I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
And not rest. We can go over here, too.
There we go. It's titled Voyage of the Red Rover.
After sailing the 7 seas, the legendary ship happens upon a great treasure at last. This piece is a tribute to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors. Oh no.
So they sailed 6 whole seas before they found anything? Not exactly the luckiest crew out there.
Sometimes you gotta take a bunch of wrong turns before you find the truth. That's what being a real detective is all about.
Did they even have detectives back in those days?
Well, good question. But we do have some deducing to do. So let's do that next. Let's see.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
The catchphrase. Alright.
Could this be related to the evidence somehow?
Let's just look at the picture for now. So let's see, the victim's body was found in Samson Tangaroa's room, inside a chocolate treasure chest. The cause of death appears to have been blood loss following blunt force trauma. Okay. So, hang on a second. One of the things I noticed is there's a piece taken out below his head. Also, there's blood everywhere, and there's not blood. It's where the piece was taken out. So did they cut the piece that was bloody out? The coin's still there. It's just the blood's not. That seems to be the contradiction. So let's see. Let's present the crime scene notes.
You said the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body?
Yeah, found the piece of cloth it was wrapped in.
And something here doesn't quite add up.
It doesn't?
We're taking another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing.
Huh. You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioning they'd remove the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics.
What is it, Mr. E? What did you figure out?
Compare the treasure chest in the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the solid chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased's head. And yet, that part of the chest is now gone.
The part with blood all over it.
Exactly. So did the police remove it, or perhaps the killer?
It wasn't forensics. They're saying nobody took anything like that away.
Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene.
Could be.
Alright.
Investigation complete. Nice!
I think we're about done here for now.
Alright.
Well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it. No two ways about it.
What do you mean?
All the rooms in this place, locked from the inside. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key.
I see. And who had access to that key?
Who do you think? Tangaroa. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies.
The mansion key. Alright.
With the mansion key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted.
But Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it?
Nope. Which is exactly what makes him a suspect.
Would you care to explain your thinking? Oh! We're getting a rebuttal showdown with Mr. Bad. Once again.
If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect, which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest, so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney?
Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the other pieces in this room?
Yeah. I know you have to believe your client. That's your job, but I'm a detective, and I serve the law. And no matter how squeaky clean somebody might seem, a suspect is still a suspect.
I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own?
Heh, do your worst.
Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. And I'm not about to just accept his version of events. In fact, I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims.
Why? I think Tangaroa did it. Okay. Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect.
That's hardly solid grounds on which to base your suspicion of Mr. Tangaroa, Detective.
And that's hardly solid grounds to start shouting objections left and right on, Mr. Attorney. Maybe quit interrupting and let me finish.
Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room, okay?
And why would he deliberately not lock his door?
Because if he'd locked it, he might as well have held up a sign saying he did it, since he had the only key.
But maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe he just left it unlocked without meaning to.
He just happened to leave it unlocked, and somebody just happened to find a body inside. Come on, kid. You'll never make detective thinking like that.
But I don't want to be a detective. I want to be an attorney.
I'd be grateful if you'd stop trying to steal my apprentice.
Look, there's a reason why Tangaroa left his door unlocked.
And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display, okay?
You're saying Mr. Tangaroa himself deliberately smashed the treasure chest open?
Yep, if he hadn't, the body would have never been found.
I struggle to see how he managed to destroy his creation while judging the contest at the same time.
Exactly. And besides, there's no way he would have disrespected his sweets. He eats every last crumb on Bacon Bop while dancing. That's the only way his stuff gets destroyed.
This isn't about what happens on TV, kid.
You know about Bacon Bop, Detective? Am I the only one who isn't familiar with this show?
Wow, I never would have guessed. Can you sing the theme song too?
Never mind that now. Focus! The point is this. Tangaroa was responsible for breaking that lid.
He absolutely can sing the theme song. 100%. 100%. Alright, everyone was supposed to gather in his room.
The judging began in Mr. Gusto's room, correct?
Yeah. Kinda wanted to check his hard candy stuff out myself.
In that case, how about a demonstration? Well, it's you, Detective.
What? Are you calling him a dirty dog?
You dirty dog.
Oh no.
It's Norm Macdonald. You dirty dog. It's a wolf!
Huh? A lone wolf? I like it.
I'm starting to enjoy these little displays.
Anyhow,
They made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there.
Do you have a clear idea of when exactly the murder took place?
not yet. Autopsy report's still pending.
And yet you still went ahead and arrested Mr. Tangaroa?
We may not know when the murder happened, but we know when the body was discovered. It was while Tangaroa was judging Gusto's room. The perfect alibi if he could set it up just right.
But still not grounds for an arrest. Surely you have to agree with that?
Do I? Especially when I've got nothing more to say to you.
Why do I get the feeling he's hiding something? Detective Bad seems pretty convinced Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit.
But there's no way he would have vandalized his own creations. No way! They should make an Ace Attorney Investigations in the Great Ace Attorney period starring Van Zeke. Yes, I have been saying that for so long. I would love a Van Zeeks game. Van Zeeks would be so cool to play as. And, like, I think he has a lot more story to explore after the end of Great Ace Attorney 2, for sure. Yes, I am 100% on board with that. Still, the treasure chest did get smashed in. There's no denying that.
Perhaps we should focus more on what led to the body's discovery. Doing so should make it easier to spot the flaw in Detective Bad's theory.
Alright, which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. So hang on, what was... Seems convinced. Alright. Focus more on what led to the body's discovery. So it was the destruction of the ship falling apart, right? And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest so the body was on full display. He didn't smash the lid, the ship fell down, right? That's the problem. Part of the chest that was covered in blood is missing. Every other item in the room is also missing a piece of itself. Cause of death. Right. The lid was closed until the ship collapsed. So the ship broke the treasure chest. Let's see. And what do we have for the contest rules? Prize the ultimate cookbook, the title of World's Greatest Confectioner. And let's see. Rule: judging will proceed clockwise from the leftmost room. All contestants to gather in Mr. Tangaroa's room when judging ends. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Stands and display materials will be provided. Okay? Contestants may not enter another contestant's room until judging has been completed. Got it. So I'm gonna say the crime scene notes themselves, because he didn't smash the lid, the ship smashed the lid. And that was... when we're supposed to gather in his room. I'm thinking it's this statement that's the problem. The door had been locked in the body. Let's see. Smashed in the lid of the treasure chest. Let's see. Let's see if the crime scene notes is what we need to present here. Yeah, I think we got it.
We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Miss Bound only came running into this room when she heard a sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing.
Sure, seems likely, based on the evidence.
And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroa who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was out judging the contest at the time.
I never said he did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand so it collapsed when he was in the middle of judging.
Have you any way of proving that assertion?
Nope, but the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time.
So he doesn't have anything conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room besides those of Mr. Tangaroa?
Yep, on the door.
Huh?
But we found Tangaroa's and Frost's prints on there, too.
We were all brought in here for a briefing, right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's works for prints yet.
Why would?
We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so.
Fine. But if we don't find anything, your guy is still top of my list. Got it? You! Check all this chocolate stuff for prints. Now!
Yes, sir! Right away! Detective Bad, we finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir.
Go on. Whose?
Delicious Scones, sir.
Oh, her name... yeah, that was her name. It was Delicious Scones, actually, in the fan translation. That's interesting. They kept the name.
She's one of the contestants.
Good work. You can go back to whatever you were investigating before.
Yes, sir. So it seems we have a suspect besides Mr. Tangaroa.
Even without your lawyerly input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself.
Delicious Scone. Mr. Gusto mentioned her, too. He said that she was ruthless, that she'd do anything to win.
This Scone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Mr. E?
Yes. I think we'd better try to speak with her ourselves as well. Detective Bad, would you mind if we accompanied you?
Babysitting you is not my job.
Oh, come on!
But I guess you did pick up a couple of useful clues already. So if you want to tag along, be my guest.
Thank you, Detective. You're too kind.
But Detective Bad, sir, I don't think that's such a good idea. The lead prosecutor is still busy in there.
It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow.
Who is this him? Who did they assign the case to?
Manfred von Karma.
What? They gave it to Von Karma? He hasn't lost a case in 25 years.
Manfred von Karma. A living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only continue to do what I believe is right.
To be continued, okay.
We're gonna head to the next scene. There we go. Turnabout Legacy. Investigating Miss Scone's room. All right, let's hop right in. Ah, there she is, the dastardly woman in the corner. December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Scones' room.
Whoa, a candy castle. And look, there are even some little elves to go with it.
Room's laid out pretty much the same as Tangaroa's.
It's not as cold, though. That's something.
Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel in here, too.
Over there where that orange light is, right?
We'd better take a closer look at it when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream-covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicious Scone.
Where is Miss Scone?
Me? Why, I'm just over here, dearie. Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicious Scone at your service. Some cheeky blighters back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious. Tee.
Called a lovely boy at 34. Unexpected, to say the least.
Lovely boys? Really? Even Mr. E? Oh, yes, dear. You, the detective over there. You are lovely boys to me.
I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad.
I wonder just how old she is.
Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney.
Yes. All right. Uh-oh.
It's him.
What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense?
Mr. Edgeworth, some scary guy just stepped out of the castle.
Von Karma.
What? He's Manfred von Karma? Sorry, mannequins?
The notorious prosecutor Von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear. Never to show your sniveling face again. What a thoroughly rude individual.
These piercing eyes, the furrowed brow. Oh, you're even scarier than they say.
And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We were hoping you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma. Ha! And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy? This clearly isn't going to be easy. So long as your inquiries are limited to this room, I suppose I'll allow it. Why the sudden change of heart? You, the tall fellow.
Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember?
I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad, see to it that these worms don't step out of line.
Why do I have to?
I am not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's room. Good day.
Von Karma is looking a little younger there, too. Yeah. Everybody is, because this is almost 20 years before the current game. So 15 years before the start of the series.
Great. More babysitting.
Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other very well enough for them to be there to be bad blood between them.
Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it.
Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much.
Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait until I'm done.
Huh? But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet?
Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did.
That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. Let's say we look over the room together, Detective. It worked out well enough before. Then you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go.
What kind of screwball attorney asks to have a detective breathing down his neck? Guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer.
Yes, you're amazing, Mr. E.
You have our thanks, Detective Bad.
Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here.
Of course. We understand. Now, shall we begin?
Begin investigation. All right, contest venue, Scone's room. Are you over there eating? Eating your whipped cream? Okay. Or did you fall asleep? What is she doing? That's really weird. Okay, anyway. Let's start from left to right. Anything over here? No. There we go.
There's a blowtorch and some chemicals here. I guess it's all for cooking with. I wonder what these chemicals are. Let's take a look at the labels. Mango Down 911? Homicyanide 247?
Wait, they're all poisons?
No, sir. They're common colorings and flavorings used in candies and desserts. The first is concentrated mango, boiled down to its purest essence. Hence, Mango Down.
They're asking for trouble with a name like that.
Now I'm curious as to what homicyanide might be. Yeah, what?
Don't turn around. Don't turn around. If you turn around, you'll eat it. You can't eat the castle. Don't eat the castle.
I guess he's watching his sugar intake.
This is like the Tower of Diabetes. Anyway.
There's a small door on the wall here, just like Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Here, I'll open it.
Temperature 68 degrees. Light set to green.
Didn't Gusto say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high.
Ah. Good thing you remember that. That is odd. I wonder why.
What else we got?
It's a cute little elf made of candy, and it's sitting on a little tree stump. Huh. The whipped cream decorations around it are beginning to lose their shape. But the elf seems completely fine. Strange.
What's that about? Because this would be melting then. But why is the elf not melting? Oh, wait a minute. What is this?
What's the matter? Something weird about the ladder?
It's not a ladder, Detective Bad. It's a step ladder.
Same difference.
Far from it, actually. You'd know if you observe their basic natures more closely.
Amazing, Mr. E! I'll have to remember this for future reference. Thank you. Oh, I got an achievement for it, too. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, we did it. All right. Let's keep looking.
The 4 adorable elves and the sweetest little castle made of sweets. So that's the theme behind Miss Scone's creations, huh?
Unlucky for her, things aren't quite as sweet around here as she's trying to make out.
That's a nice little phrase there, Bad.
These must be the various tools Miss Scone used to build her castle.
Buckets filled with cream, trowels, and a brush. Is she a patissier or a plasterer?
Don't you go making jokes at my expense, you cheeky young devil. I don't just slap stuff on walls like a silly old plasterer. I have to spread the cream out lovely and smooth, then work out all the rough patches.
That's literally exactly what a plasterer does.
Yeah. Bad apparently has strong opinions about plastering. The thick, sweet, scented, delicious whipped cream in the air. It's like a fairy tale, but in real life. And yet, there he was, standing in the middle of it all with that evil look on his face. This whole experience is wasted on the scary old creep.
Come now, Eddie, you can't call people names like that. It's rude.
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll try to be more careful. He reminds me of this teacher I had, who was always super angry with me.
A stern school teacher, huh? Now that he mentions it, Mr. Von Karma does have the look of one. But I shudder to think what it would be like for Miles to study under him. Oh, man. Gregory, I think you just death flagged yourself to death with that one statement. All right, let's look into the castle. It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle is made out of sugar and cream.
I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something.
I didn't know you were so into such fantastical things.
Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Didn't mean to get so carried away there.
Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you.
You have a son, Mr. E? Wait, how did he not know that?
I do. He's still in elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. I can't help but worry that his interests will make it hard for him to make friends.
Don't say that. He sounds super interesting. He'll make a ton of friends. Me included, I'm sure.
I like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie.
A big brother, huh? Guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously.
Indeed. Then, with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? And will you please stop eating paper? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. And not rest, either. Well, there's these two, rock salt lamps back there? And then there's some drapes? The doors of the castle have been left wide open.
Yeah, was the guy born in a barn? He could have at least closed them behind him.
I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face, Eddie.
Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see.
Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Cream's going all runny.
Ah, okay. It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside a candy castle?
Alright, tell me what you want me to look at first.
The tarps?
There's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether.
Well, they certainly aren't made of candy.
No idea what this stuff's for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in here.
And I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before. Alright, what about the salt rock things?
2 big rock crystals. Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage.
Kinda expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know. Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. Maybe this whole thing is based on a story about a castle with a priceless treasure hidden inside.
I think I'd treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. There's something on the bottom of them.
Looks like a little stand or something.
Huh.
Those are, interestingly shaped stands that go with the interestingly shaped, ramparts there. I was right, they are gemstones. The stands must be so they can be put on display.
Well,
Whatever they are, it seems they're not just a large set of paperweights. But what about these? These pillars. They have hexagonal indentations.
looks like something's supposed to go in there. Well, whatever they were, they're long gone.
Hexagonal indentations, huh? I wonder.
Castle's covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry?
A giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom?
Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing.
Okay, bad. Just having a flight of fancy right now. I prefer bananas myself.
Blueberries for me.
Okay. Everybody has expressed their fruit preferences. I want Von Karma to come in and tell us what he thinks about his favorite fruit, too. I think it's logic time. All right. Well, runny cream and high temperature is obviously a connection.
The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high.
It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that.
And yet, when you open the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine.
Yeah, they were sturdier than expected.
Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we'd better take another look at those handles, don't you?
Oh. Von Karma likes durian because it's the king of fruits. That probably makes sense, yes. Gregory chose the objectively correct fruit. He is a blueberry fan, so okay.
What the?
I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy.
It's not just the handles. The whole castle. The little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top.
What? So none of this is confectionery art after all?
No, it's simply made to look like candy, with the cream having been added to lend it all an air of authenticity.
Oh. That's against the rules. That is against the rules. But we also have the rock crystal stands and the hexagonal indentations. Those are obviously going to go together.
The rock crystal stands and the pillars in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars.
Oh yeah, hexagon and hexagon. Makes perfect sense.
But if that's the case, then why were they being hidden inside the castle? The rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle, I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone. Miss Scone, what were you using the items inside the castle for?
Oh, those? Sorry, Lambkin, but I'm not allowed to say.
Let me guess. Von Karma.
How'd you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. You'll have my guts for garters.
It seems the prosecutor really has no intention of sharing anything with the defense.
Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but... What's that, dearie? You're interested in my little trinkets? Your trinkets? Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed.
You use rock crystals and cloths to do that?
I do. It's wonderful. You should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside them. Wow, those things are lamps? Oh, that's not even half it. Those cloths hold an even more exciting secret.
She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets.
Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic, Oh, Betty Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me?
The name is bad.
Is that a no? Why, you're being so selfish, Betty Bumpkin.
No.
You, have you finished taking photos of this room yet?
Yes, sir. We have, sir.
Then help Miss Scone here with something, will you?
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
You're a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Betty B? That's amazing, Miss Scone. You got him to do exactly what you wanted. That's some talent. This is a very goofy case so far. Thank you ever so much, Battykins. And you, Officer Lovely. She's even giving nicknames to the forensic guys now.
I guess it's her way of showing that she cares.
So, what about this is supposed to be? Relaxing, exactly?
Oh, don't be a big sourpuss, Betty B. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, it's beautiful.
It is. I wish my son were here to see it.
Isn't it though? Isn't it just wonderful? The 4 adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen? Hold the phone, though. That's against the rules, because it said you cannot have any decorations that are not candy. So, all of this breaks the rules.
One of the elves must be feeling a little left out.
This is how it was supposed to look for the contest. But I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least. Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too? Oh, what's happened there, I wonder?
I think we'd better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time.
Let's see. What do we got here?
This elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others.
It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone! Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my claws and one of my little machines went missing.
A cloth and what sort of machine exactly?
Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous claws are connected to these little thingamajigs. They're called, full-spectrum light-emitting devices. They send light down the main cable and into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. Bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue like clinking crystals of ice. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years, and they don't mind the cold at all.
Forgive me. So these machines, they're
what makes the special luminous cloth light up in all those beautiful colors, Mr. E.
I see. So much new technology. We can barely keep up.
So these light-emitting devices, you lost one of them and a piece of luminous cloth.
That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got to.
This cloth, it could have something to do with the case.
Oh, and it's a blue one that's missing? Special color... Oh, no, sorry. It can be any color. Special color-changing cloth belonging to Scone. She has lost a roll of it, along with the device that powers it. That's important. What you want to bet? That it's what's covering the body there. That's it. Can I talk to her and show her that? Or, let's see. We've already looked at the other elves.
It's a cute little elf made of candy, and it's sitting on a little tree stump. The fabric above it and the other decorations around it really add to the dreamlike atmosphere. Stare at it for too long and we might get swept up in the fantasy ourselves.
Yeah, well, our job is to stay right here in reality and get to the bottom of all this. Nobody's getting swept up in any flights of fancy on my watch.
Bad's gonna get isekai'd. Let's see. What else we got?
I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
You mean like the obvious blood stains? What the heck?
Lamps appear to be broken.
Bulbs are smashed, both of them.
Maybe they fell and broke on the floor. Look, there's a red stain on the one on the left.
That's not just a stain. That's...
Yep. It's blood, all right. I can smell it.
Bloody lamp. What? But blood? Why is there blood on this lamp? Could it have something to do with why its bulb is broken? Oh no, that was Gregory saying that. Okay.
We'd better take a closer look at the other one, too.
Let's see.
So Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display.
Then why were they stashed inside the castle?
Maybe because they're broken.
Except, there's plenty of other places she could have put them.
The best place to hide some salt is in some sugar. Isn't that how it goes?
Or perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in a forest. Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in her final display, That contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point it out by making it a deduction. Alright. Is it the rules? Could this be related to the evidence somehow? The contest rules, right? Yeah. Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, Detective.
Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration.
That means the salt lamps and the luminous claws would both have been against the rules. Alright.
Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle?
I think we needed to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say for sure. Alright. That's good. We got that. What about the doors?
My shoes are already covered in cream. I wouldn't go any closer, unless you want the same thing to happen to you.
We've seen what's behind those doors. There's really no need to look again. Alright, well, let's back out. Yeah, I think we talk to her now, because... Well, we do have a lot of logic, though. Let's see. Scones is rule breaking. Scone used decorations that weren't made from confections. Well, let's do blunt force trauma and the bloody lamp. Because that seems like a good connection. We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt. And we found blood on one of the lamps, which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon?
For sure. It could definitely do enough damage to kill someone.
You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet?
Yes, sir. Just got done a minute ago, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it.
There you have it.
Alright. We got it. Stained with the victim's blood. So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scones' room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects. And then Scones rule breaking and fake confections seems to be connected as well. So not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scone made a mockery of the rules.
Yeah, I guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now.
And why is it so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all this?
Maybe she doesn't know about the temperature needing to be at a certain level for cream? That's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Miss Scone herself. Yep, we got lots to talk about with her now. Alright.
What's the matter, Miss Scone? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago.
Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two?
Why, yes, nothing happened at all. But you just said yes. That was a hello, yes, you silly boy. Aren't you just the sweetest little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was your name again? Eddie? Eddie Lumpkin. Oh, you'll go far, dear, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin?
It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment.
She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E.
Never mind that now. We should ask her a few questions while we can.
You want to look at my badge first? Yes, dear. What's this when it's at home?
It's a badge that proves I'm a qualified attorney.
Gosh, well done you! Shall I show you something lovely in return? See this big pink hat I'm wearing? It proves I'm a qualified pastry chef.
Is that so? I thought you could buy those in stores.
Oh, you can! Anyway, it's not the hat that matters, it's the head underneath.
So then, can anyone call themselves a pastry chef?
I mean, I don't see why not. During the contest.
Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest?
Of course, dearie. Let's see. It all started at about 10 in the morning. That's when we set out to work. And, well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you'd expect. Oh, and then there was a lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think. Afternoon tea?
It's an English tradition, a chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk.
So kind of like recess?
I suppose you could say that.
Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pegleg? Such a clever boy.
When did I become Greggy? And where was this afternoon tea served?
Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely tea one just outside. And they do it at the same hour every break time during the contest. Lay on a nice little spread, you know. But today, only me, Samson, Silly Pants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Sammy Poople had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. But poor old Chili Winks and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet, bless them.
You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto was present?
That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our 2 local TV superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished, though, tootled off while the others were still nattering away.
And at any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms?
Why, no, dear, don't be silly.
That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room.
Caught red-handed.
Wait, so you admit you were there?
Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear?
What really happened? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
Well, I suppose you'd call it research.
Research?
Sammy Poople's a dab hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say.
Ah.
What kind of research leaves fingerprints?
Yes, well, it stands to reason I'd leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? What? You ate little pieces of them?
So the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room. That was all you?
I'm ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset. So it was just the teensiest bits and pieces.
And the stand holding up the ship? You took a bite out of that too, I suppose?
Oh yes, dear, of course I did.
It was you? You brought the whole thing crashing down?
I'm sorry, my lovely, truly I am. Hold on, is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading off for a second helping of sweets? Look, just please believe me. I never killed anybody, I promise.
Her actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now.
Yeah. Let's talk about the temperature of the room now.
Miss Scone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees?
Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? And besides, being chilly's no good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh-faced complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. We ladies have to stay young, don't you know? How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know.
It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, is it, Eddie?
But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees, or it starts to deflate.
Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and made a whoopsie. Wait, she really didn't know that?
Yeah, that's suspicious.
World-class confectioner, my foot.
Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Scone grows more mysterious by the minute.
Well, let's logic that together, shall we? Confectionery research and lack of knowledge.
Miss Scone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created. And she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize.
Yeah, not how I'd picture a top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence? Or
is she not actually a confectioner at all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research.
Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder?
There's no way of saying so for certain just yet. But she is hiding something, that much I'm certain of. Alright, investigation complete.
that's enough investigating for now, don't you think?
Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found the murder weapon when he searched this room, and yet he didn't arrest Miss Scone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma.
Me too. Him and Scone.
How could you, Betty Bumpkin? Stop staring at me like that!
It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us?
Of course, dear. Where are we off to?
To find Mr. Von Karma. December 24th, 8:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. And there he is. Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you, if that's all right.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Judging by your faces, I'm guessing you found the murder weapon.
We did. It was in Miss Scone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest.
Ha! Nonsense. It doesn't matter where the weapon was found. Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain.
How can you be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Scone's room?
Of course I do. And I'll be delighted to share it with you.
Oh no. We got a actual rebuttal with Von Karma now. The murder weapon.
Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed doubly suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon, considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect.
So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Scone's room?
It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact based on my own investigation.
You mean you have proof that he did so?
I don't need any such thing. Tisk tisk, if you have a rebuttal, I'd be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic.
Alright, here we go. In order to frame her for the murder.
So he took one of the salt lamps from Miss Scone's room back to his own? Indeed. He prepared it beforehand, knowing that it would be the perfect weapon with which to kill Frost.
But we found the lamp in Miss Scone's room. Surely this casts Miss Scone herself in a suspicious light.
Perhaps if you would let me finish. Now, as I was saying,
to complete the deception, he took it back to her room. You're talking about the lamp made of rock salt that was hidden inside the Candy Castle, correct?
Precisely. I was the one who found it. So be grateful. It's thanks to me we even have such a vital piece of evidence.
What made you go inside the castle in the first place, if you don't mind me asking?
Good point. Maybe he just wanted to see what it was like in there?
Fools! You think I went in there on a whim? I went in there because detectives are an incompetent lot, so I investigated it myself.
But I had nothing to do with the initial investigation.
That's right. Detective Bad wasn't a part of this investigation until very recently. If you want my trust, Detective, you'll have to earn it. And a good first step would be to stop wasting my time. Now, if you'll allow me to continue. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa, okay. But he came under suspicion anyway due to the body being in his room. So why... Would you care to hear a favorite expression of mine? Even a dog can hold still and stay. Now let me finish! If only I could say the same to you. Let's see, a body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon, less so. So you think he hid the body in the chest, but removed the murder weapon from the crime scene? Yes. He foolishly believed his own creation to be the perfect hiding place.
I'm sorry. I had to help myself.
I think you mean you couldn't help yourself, no?
She doesn't seem very sorry to me.
In any case, the weapon was taken away while the body remained at the scene of the crime. And that's why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain that Mr. Tangaroa is the culprit? Is that the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here. The presence of the body in Tangaroa's room is in itself proof enough of his guilt. And you didn't finish pointing into any other possible suspects? Perhaps you should take another look. You might... You really don't give up, do you? There is no need to take another look. Tangaroa is guilty. End of story. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims. I have to think back over the scene of the crime. If Mr. Tangaroa really isn't guilty, then there must be something that points to somebody else. Pressing Mr. Von Karma on any of his statements won't have much of an effect, I fear. My only hope is to find a piece of evidence that contradicts his claims. Is it the blood? The bloody bit that was removed? On the scene. What about the crime scene notes? A part of the treasure chest that was covered in blood is missing. That's gotta be it, right? Yeah, the missing treasure chest piece. It's true that the murder weapon and the blood-stained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Scone's room? Ah, yeah.
What's that, dearie? One of my lovely colorful cloths? The scene of the crime, you say?
Luminous cloth? Nonsense! I see no light to speak of.
I guess he doesn't know how it works.
It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent.
Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that.
But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Scone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? The salt lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Scone. And seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Scone as a person of interest.
Craggy peg leg! How could you? You're accusing me of all people.
I'm not accusing you of anything just yet. But I do think you're hiding something.
Hey, that's not...
Just to clarify, your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Scone's room prior to the murder.
Exactly. Tisk. Is something funny?
Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. So sorry to have to break it to you.
Huh? What does he mean?
Tangaroa spotted them before the contest began and noted that the lamps and cloths contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping. What? Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he had secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing, as he did, the only key. And as you now know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel to have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom?
Ugh, this can't be happening.
Wait, all our hard work was for nothing? Miss Scone, why didn't you tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa? Well, dear, the mannequin said that if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion. Mr. Von Karma said that? And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourselves just a second ago.
You pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result.
One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are 2, and only 2, sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon.
2?
Yes, those of Delicious Scone and Samson Tangaroa. No others were found. Tangaroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints.
At this rate, no one will even need to testify.
My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me, as I secure his verdict.
But wait. What about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room?
What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body.
Ugh. I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying.
No more pitiful objections? Then get out of my sight and close the door behind you.
Mystery!
I'm not about to just give up.
I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad? Escort them off the premises now! This investigation is not over yet.
Detective Bad? What is the meaning of this?
Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half-solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified.
He's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for.
We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, Detective. But whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense's.
I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad.
What?
This is the yet unidentified something that was left in Mr. Tangaroa's room. The seal. What? We still haven't properly identified this piece of evidence.
That's not what I was thinking of.
Oh? It seems you're the only one who isn't satisfied here. And I assure you there is no such thing as an unidentified piece of evidence to a Von Karma. I picked the wrong thing. Still a single question. This is the... Alright, not the seal, huh? The finger marks? Is that it? Alright. There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations. Supposing they belong to the murderer. It could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon. How do you know so much about the crime scene?
Because I let them look around.
You let the defense examine the scene, Bad? Are you out of your mind?
I don't remember you telling me not to.
Insolent worm! You would do well to remember this then, detective. That the results of your next salary review are up to me.
Oof. Detective Bad's in trouble now, too. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth.
And you do well to remember that the results of your salary review are up to your performance here.
A mere attorney uncovering such a fact, based on a cursory investigation.
I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creations. But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there is still something about Miss Scone that doesn't add up. Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat?
Oh, stop it, Keggy. Stop it. Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal Delicia? I owned up to nibbling poor Sammy Poople Sweeties. What more do you want?
I don't want to have to make you a suspect, that much is certain. But you lied to us, and you're still not telling us everything.
Oh, Greggy, stop it! Stop bullying me!
I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that?
I'm sorry, all right? I'm sorry. I'm just a silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say?
I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up. But this isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, what proof do I have that Miss Scone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts?
Is it the fake? The salt lamp? Oh, not the salt lamp. No. Proof? No, that's not right. Yeah. Was it pretty cheeky? No. Okay, we'll try it again. It's alright, Mr. E. We're both still young. Everyone forgives young people for their mistakes.
You and I are decades never mind. Very well. Allow me to explain my privilege as a youth and try that again. Explain.
Let's see. Is it the fake confections?
Yeah. Every single one of Miss Scone's creations break the rules of the contest. The offending items, the cloths and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as we have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself. But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? The entire fantastical world Miss Scone created. Every last bit of it. It's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. No real-world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Bad?
Yep. Saw it with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes.
Did we finally convince him?
With her lies exposed like this, surely he can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Scone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects.
But no, dear, I'm no killer.
Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? And who are you really? And why were you tampering with your rival's work?
Well, all right. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cook you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it. A pharmacist?
I can't blame him for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one?
Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And Sammy Poople sweets are the best, so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the final.
Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words.
That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dearie, and it was worth it. Samson's silly pants' sweeties are the tastiest treats I ever did eat.
And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing the gloves?
No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves.
Remember, Miss Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere on Mr. Tangaroa's other creations. I'd say that points to her not having worn any gloves.
Exactly, Lambkin. Greggy Peglegs got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman.
Is your head filled with cream too?
Sorry, mannequins.
Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Scone, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled?
No, dear. I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chillywinks' room for a little taste, too.
Huh. You were in the victim's room too?
Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see.
Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead.
But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off to the side to cleanse my palate. You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone?
Indeed. What didn't she sample?
That's everything, I promise. Griggy Peggles, mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things.
As long as what you've told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end. Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Von Karma, please let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions. Huh! Accompany me if you like. But don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation. We'd like to accompany you all the same. December 24th, 9 p.m. Contest venue, Frost's room. What is the meaning of this?
Oh, it's all melted? When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone. The whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest? A murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room? This case was a real peach. And it was gonna take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all.
Alright, to be continued.
Alright, I'm gonna take a very quick break, and then we will keep going for a little bit longer. Alright, be right back. All right, here we go. Let's continue. April 2nd. Oh, we're back in the present. 10:15 a.m. Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. So, yes, we have returned to the modern day with Edgeworth and Eddie. Whoa, went deep on that one. Sorry, Mauserino. I didn't mean to bend your ear for so long. I had no idea that was how it all came about. I read the files, but they don't go into anywhere near that level of detail. I bet they paint things in a much rosier light for the prosecution, too. Von Karma was the one in charge, after all. What happened with the case after that? Well, with the ice sculptures vanishing from the victim's room, things hit a bit of a rough patch. So rough, in fact, that it took a full year before they could even reach a verdict in the trial.
A year?
This was back before they brought in the whole initial trial thing. You didn't have to finish up in double quick time like you do nowadays.
I see. Did they ever find out how the victim's creations managed to just disappear?
Well, they were sorbets or frozen desserts or whatever you want to call them. Ice, in other words. And if it's made of ice, it can melt, which is exactly what they concluded must have happened. But there's a chance that wasn't how things actually went down.
What do you mean?
So this place is a gallery these days, but back then it was Samson's Tangaroa's place, yeah?
Indeed. And the site of the IS-7 incident.
Well, word is Frost's ice sculptures are suddenly back on display. 18 years after that fateful day.
The very sculptures that the victim made?
Who knows? Could be they're just modeled on the originals. But I figured it was worth coming down for a little look-see, just in case. Seemed like the least I could do for poor old Gregory. Well, alrighty then. Let's go take a look at those icy marvels, shall we, kiddo? I believe they're on display in the Winter Wing, as it's very snazzily known. So, Winter Wing, Winter Wing. Huh? I don't believe it. It's locked. The gallery's open for biz, but the Winter Wing's off limits? What gives?
Fender? Perhaps you should look more closely at the pamphlet we were given. The Winter Wing is over there.
Oh, it's that one. It is? Freaky. Could have sworn it was this one. Anywho, shall we? Time to dive on in and see what we should have seen 18 years ago. Hey! I recognize those two. April 2nd, Zodiac Hall, Winter Wing. Brr. I see they're still keeping it chilly as all heck in these rooms. I'm about to turn into a popsicle stick.
It is the Winter Wing, you know? But you're right. It's like a freezer in here. It could be a trick of the light, but it feels like the whole room is made of ice.
The temperature controls will be somewhere at the back there if memory serves. Hey, Mouster. Can you go peep the degree count? I'm thinking a complaint to the management is in order. There is such a thing as too cold, yeah?
Alright, if you insist.
Take your time, mosey around, and take in the sights while you're at it. I got a camera I need to prep for action. Feel like your pop might appreciate a picture of all this. I'll put it on his grave so he can have a gander.
Of course. Alright. Yeah, let's talk to Ron and Desi here.
So how about this? I scream out, oh no, this must be the work of that villain Damask. Yeah, and I go, that's me, the legendary Mask to Mask. Yeah, and then, no, say that, and you'll be in cuffs before you can blink, Ronnie. You've got to take this more seriously, otherwise how are we going to get this to market to sell?
What exactly are these two plotting? Oh no, are they going to steal the Castor and Pollux
Let's see, was it? There's an enormous block of ice on display here. There's some explanatory text engraved in it. Castor and Pollux. Every year in December, countless shooting stars can be seen emanating from this constellation. So then Damas needs to... Yeah, and then I wish these two would stop talking so loudly, it's difficult to concentrate. Never mind, I'll just go take a look at some other exhibit. Alright, you two. Even so soon, Miles, stick around, take in the sights. Might as well while we're here.
It's too cold. I was thinking of heading somewhere warmer.
If you want, I could lend you some of the old Fender threads. In exchange for your jacket, of course.
I'll be fine, thank you.
Seems I'll have to stick it out a little longer. Alright, let's look around. What's this?
This lamp appears to be made of rock salt.
It's illuminating the diagram of the zodiac just above it.
Yes.
Both Gemini and Taurus are not only zodiac signs, but constellations that are visible during winter. Winter constellations on display in the Winter Wing, and, uniquely, these statues are made of flavored ice. According to the pamphlet we received, the ones in the other rooms are made of crystal glass. Ice might be rather fitting for the Summer Wing, too. Who doesn't like a nice snow cone on a sunny day? But then, it would probably be too similar to this room, I suppose. What else? Look at this.
There's a huge block of ice on display here.
It must be incredibly heavy. Well, maybe not, with it being hollow on the inside. There's a constellation engraved into the surface along with some explanatory text. The Pleiades, known to some as Subaru, they form part of the larger constellation of Taurus. But why cram so many stars into one tiny part of a single constellation? I guess people in ancient times weren't hugely careful about such things. How about you, kid with horns?
A boy wearing a backpack.
What's he doing at an art gallery on his own? She wanted to run a gallery so bad she just quit the industry? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Does this boy know the owner of the gallery, perhaps?
She, huh? Interesting.
There are two large ice statues on display here.
Guess these are remakes of Frost's work from 18 years back. Real eye-catching stuff. Ice sculpture is a heck of an art form, huh?
It is. These are the works my father never got to see.
To think that I get to see them instead, so many years later. Sorry to butt in while you're deep in the thinkhole, Mouster, but would you mind looking this way a sec?
This way?
Beautiful, yeah, just like that.
Fender, really?
Say cheese!
Please don't do that again. I don't like having my picture taken.
My bad, big guy, my bad. Had to check if this old thing was still working is all.
Now that you mention it, your camera does look rather ancient.
Yep, vintage model. You ever hear of an instant camera? It develops the picture right after you take the shot. Still twists my noggin trying to think how it works.
I know what an instant camera is, although I've never used one.
You should have known Mr. Know-It-All would know it all. You really are your father's son. Alright, step aside. I need to get some good shots of the room here.
For all his joking, he looks very serious about the pictures he's taking. He must have his own theories about the IS-7 incident.
Ooh, I should have been a paparazzo. These are gold. And they develop right away. You want to see?
Well, since you've already shoved one in my face.
Alright, Brainiac, question. What do these two sculptures represent?
They appear to represent Taurus and Gemini, two constellations best observed during wintertime.
Bingo! He shoots, he scores! Whew, you're a regular encyclopedia, Mouster. Guess that's why this is the Winter Wing, right? Because they have the winter stuff on display here. Anyway, seeing as I'm the nicest old rogue on the block, that's one's for yours for keepsies.
Thanks.
Winter Wing photo data jotted down. Alright. So the victim made these same Zodiac statues out of flavored ice for the contest 18 years ago? Sure did. Lovingly crafted, life-size desserts. I only ever saw the old ones in photos, though. But these are the spit of the originals.
So this is what you wanted to show me?
Yep, think Gregory would have wanted you to see them, too. And I may not have had it in me to come here on my own. Sorry to drag you along.
Not at all. I'm happy to be able to see where my father's final case unfolded.
Good to hear you say so, Paleo. And let's say we grab another quick snap to commemorate this heartwarming occasion.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Wow, that was a long aside for looking at these. We can look at this one again, too.
It's a statue of a rather ferocious-looking bull. Not a gaze one would want to be fixed with. But then, I was always taught to return a stare with a stare. Although in this case, discretion might be the better part of valor.
Right, so we can probably wrap up by looking at the temperature gauge. Yeah, I know, I'm not leaving. We can talk to him. Malzarino, mind if I ask you something?
Of course, assuming it's something I can help with.
I was wondering, do you think we're allowed to take pics in here?
What? You didn't check? Well, I didn't see any signs, and we weren't told not to, so I suppose it's probably okay.
Good, because even if it wasn't, I was planning to grab my shots anyway. Gregory always wanted to see the place. And what Gregory wants, Gregory gets.
My father. What would he have noticed if he were here? Perhaps if he had the chance to see it, that trial might have... No. What's happened, happened.
Alright, let's check over here.
Huh.
Fender, I can't seem to find the temperature controls you mentioned. Oh yeah, it's a little tricky if you don't know where it's at. Here, I'll have it open for you in a jiffy. Huh? Dang thing's locked. Makes sense, I guess. Wouldn't want the visitors cranking up the thermostat and melting the art.
According to the pamphlet, the winter wing is kept at a constant 27 degrees.
Holy, that's colder than the snowman's cold bits! I'm gonna freeze to death in here! Guess there's only one thing for it. Somebody's getting a snuggle. Hey, what's with the icy stare? You want me to freeze to death?
No.
Alrighty, I got the shots I wanted. Shall we scoot on over to another wing and see what's cooking? Might as well do the full tour while we're here.
I suppose so.
Ah!
What was that?
Came from the fountain room. Come on, let's go see what's up.
Oh no. I recognize that guy.
April 2nd, Zodiac Hall Fountain Room.
There's someone on the ground. And is that... Larry? What are you doing here? Actually, never mind that. What on earth is going on?
Edgy! You should have seen it. It was awful.
Just calm down and tell me why there is an unconscious man on the floor.
I didn't do anything. He just fell down in front of me. Wait, I know this guy. Is everything all right? Don't you know it's rude to make a racket in an art gallery, you naughty boys?
Wait, the smell.
He's still breathing, but I know these symptoms. It's not safe, Miles. We need to get everybody out of here.
Everyone with me. There isn't a moment to lose. There's poison gas coming out of that room.
April 2nd, 10:42 a.m. Zodiac Hall Fountain Room.
How's the victim doing, Fender?
Not good. He inhaled a lot of gas. He's still out, and it sounds like it's pretty serious. But the paramedic said there are no signs of external injury, and that he was conscious before it happened. Anyway, he's alive.
Just barely. He's lucky we found him when we did. But like I said, he's not out of the woods yet. They put him in the medical room with a specialist.
I see. I couldn't help noticing that it seemed like you knew him, Fender.
Sure do. That was Carmelo Gusto. He was here back when the whole IS-7 thing went down.
The confectioner? So he was here 18 years ago, too.
Any hoozles, this guy here seems like he's in rude health. Old pal of yours, Mauserino?
Yes, something like that. I'm glad you're okay, Larry.
Something like that? Are you serious, Edgy? You've known me since elementary school. Crush a guy's feelings, why don't you? Anyway, you know you're supposed to call me Lori Stoneem when I'm dressed like this. So no more Larry, okay? Got that?
This is Larry Butts. He's a bit of a troublemaker, but he's one of my only friends from back when we were little kids. Ever since he developed a passion for art, he's been trying to make it big as Loris Donim. But new name or not, he's still the same old Larry.
Whoa, grade school buddies. I need to tell Gregory about this. He'll be over the moon, you have a pal. He was always worried you'd never click with anybody. Hear that, Edgy? You're lucky to have a friend like me.
I never knew I was the cause of such worries for my father. Never mind that now, Larry. What are you doing here?
Larice, Edgy. How many times do I have to tell you it's Larice?
What are you doing here?
What's with the demon eyes? All right, I'll talk. Just stop looking at me like that.
Yes, that's Sea Sponge. If something smells, it's usually the butts. Good, now talk.
You want to know why I'm here? Why the heck do you think? For my art, of course. Oh, and I'm coming on a date here with Lulu soon, so I thought I'd better scope the place out.
So not actually for your art at all.
Larice, my man. An artist and a romantic. You'll have to introduce me to this lady friend of yours. Oh, sure. It's nice to have somebody take an interest for once.
Spare me. Oh, by the way, Lauricio, did you notice anything when you found the victim?
Nothing in particular.
Didn't you say you'd seen something awful?
Oh, that! The old guy. He just appeared and then splat. He was on the floor. Scared the life out of me. But for once, I had nothing to do with any of it.
Don't look so proud. That's the least we should be able to hope for.
Honored guests, I can only apologize for the trouble you've experienced. I'm Judy Bound, the gallery manager.
Another person from the IS-7 incident.
Good to see you, Judes.
Mr. Fender, it's always a pleasure. She was at the reception desk when we arrived, but she's the one in charge here.
I can't believe you had to go through something so awful in our first day in business. Hey, quit that. It's not your fault. Oh wait, I guess I'd better introduce you guys. Judy, meet Miles Edgeworth, son of the late, great Gregory. Really? You're Mr. Edgeworth's son? Well.
He's dancing.
Isn't this fabulous? The great man's son here with us. 18 long years have passed, but now look, he's here at last. It's very lovely to meet you, Mr. Fine Attorney number 2. Judy, that was the bomb. I see you're in good voice as ever.
Miles Edgeworth, prosecutor. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, you're a prosecutor? I'm so sorry. Forgive me for jumping to conclusions.
She's very polite, but there's something strange about her.
Hey, Judy, can I, get an autograph? You can write it in here.
The monkey sketchbook.
Well, if you're sure you'd even want such a thing.
Why do you want it, Larry?
Rude! You know who she is, right? Come on, Milester, you don't keep up with showbiz news or nothing? Guess that's no big surprise.
What's going on? Why are they looking at me like that?
Judy here is a living legend. Not just TV. Movies, musicals, chart-topping hits, you name it. Oh, don't be silly. I'm just a humble art gallery owner now. I finally quit the biz for good. I finished shooting my last movie just the other day, in fact. Some of my co-stars were even kind enough to say that they would come visit once we opened. Anyway, here you are, and good luck with your artistic endeavors. Thanks so much, Judy! I'll treasure it till my dying day. You and me are peas in a pod, Larice. Peas in a gosh dang pod.
How lovely for you both. Larry, could you go practice your drawing somewhere or something? You did come all the way to an art gallery after all. It'd be a shame to waste the opportunity.
A real artist drawing our exhibits? What an honor! Guess even you can have a bright idea once in a while, Edgy. All right, Judy, seeing as you were so nice about it, I guess I will. Be right back! He's a real live wire, that one.
That's one way of putting it. I can only apologize. By the way, there was another woman with you before. Where is she now?
You mean Delicia? Delicia Scone? She's in the medical room helping to care for Mr. Gusto. I call it the medical room, but it's nothing quite so grand, of course. I couldn't stay with them as I'm the only one on staff, and I can't leave the gallery unattended for long.
Delicious Scone. We've heard that name before, haven't we, Fender?
Sure have. Sounds like our IS-7 bingo card is complete. Something tells me this isn't a coinkydink. Perhaps I could offer you gentlemen a cup of tea. A drop of the old Judy Bound special blend? Why not? For old time's sake.
That would be lovely. Thank you. Clink, clink, clatter, and clatter.
Now, if you'll both excuse me, I'd better go and explain things to the other visitors. You go do your thing, Judes. Thanks again.
This aroma. Ceylon, I believe. Let's give it a try. This is a fine blend. A top-quality Ceylon indeed. Its citrus aroma.
It's said to improve one's ability to concentrate, right?
Huh?
Your old man said those exact words 18 years ago. Really takes me back. There's just one difference. Jude's cooled the saucers back then. Not today, though, it seems.
Anyway, don't you think this is all a little odd? Every single person from an 18-year-old case, all assembled in the same place at the same time? Yes. It almost feels as if an investigation is in order.
No, Mr. Edgeworth, you're all right! Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, we heard you got caught up in a poison gas attack, so we came as fast as we could. Well, if it isn't the cavalry. Come on, team, bring it in. No way. Besides, you're both doing just fine. Gummy and I got ourselves all worked up over nothing.
Detective Gumshoe, what were you thinking bringing Kay with you?
Sorry, sir. I knew it was dangerous, what with the poison gas and all, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. I ran and I ran and I ran and I ran, but I just couldn't shake her off. When it comes to running away, the great thief here is the world champ.
Then run away. Don't chase the poor detective.
All set, sir. Just say the word, and I'll head in there and start investigating. You guys stay here. That gas could still be dangerous.
All right, we're counting on you, detective.
Good luck in there, Diggy boy. No way. Gummy almost looked like a real detective. I'm so proud of him.
But he is a real detective.
Is he, though?
This is Edgeworth speaking.
Mr. Edgeworth, looks like the gas has mostly dissipated, sir.
Uh-oh. Very good, detective. Now calm down and tell me what you see.
Yes, sir. First up, the exhibits. There's a statue of two people on the left side. And on the right, some kind of two-horned animal.
Wait, a statue of two people?
and a two-horned animal. That sounds familiar. In fact, it sounds identical to the display in the winter wing. Other than that, the place is looking pretty damp. The sprinklers sprayed the place good. Must be what stopped the gas from spreading. The sprinklers? Are there any signs of a fire? No, sir. And the fire hasn't been triggered either. Sprinklers look like the type that detect heat and smoke. When they detect something, they send an alarm, either fire or smoke, to the security room. I guess they read the gas as smoke and triggered the smoke alarm that way. And was anyone in the security room when that alarm went off? This place only has one employee, and that's Judy Bound, the manager. And she was at the reception desk across from the security room the whole time since the gallery opened. So she heard the alarm from across the way and turned on the sprinklers. Yep, seems they can only be switched on manually, and only from there. Wouldn't want the art getting soaked for no good reason, I guess. And if it's manual, you could maybe even check how bad the fire was and try to get some stuff out first. So the security setup is geared around protecting the exhibits. That makes sense in an art gallery, I guess. And one more thing, it's freezing in here. This isn't the autumn wing, it's the deep midwinter wing. So the autumn wing is cold too? I checked the temperature. It's 26.5 degrees in here, sir. Why is the autumn wing being kept at the same temperature as the winter wing? Well, I think it's weird. Hang on, I think it's weird. Do we have a map? Yeah. It's weird to me that there we go spring, summer, winter, autumn. Because that's out of sequence. You would go spring, summer, autumn, winter. So something's weird about these two being different. That's about all I got for now. I'll let you know if I find anything else, sir. Understood. Thank you, Detective Gumshoe. April 2nd, 11:15 a.m., Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. What did Gummy have to say? He said that the autumn wing is actually quite wintry. Huh? I don't get it. I'm wondering what it could mean myself, but it's a bit hard to tell from out here. We should try to get in there as soon as the police are done with their investigation. Amen to that. We need to see what the deal is for ourselves. Is there anybody else who might know something in the meantime? Oh yeah, there is one guy. Miles' best bud. His... what? Oh, if we have to. And I guess we have to. And there he is. Wait, that's... yeah, she knows who that is. Kay! Didn't expect to see you here. You're looking as fresh-faced as ever. Yeah, long time no see, Larry, right? So here's the deal, Kay. I'm Laurice right now. You see, I'm also a bit of an artist. I'm something of an artist myself. Ah, so it's your alias? I like it. Good to see you, Laurice. I always knew you were a nice, thoughtful kid. Unlike some people. I have some questions for you, Larry. What the? How am I a suspect? Just because I found the guy, that doesn't mean I did the crime. I never said you did. I just need you to tell us what you saw. You said you saw something awful. How so, exactly? Look, I didn't see anything, and I didn't do anything, okay? I don't think I did, anyway. Whoa, Chief, you didn't sound too sure of yourself at the end there. There's something you should know about him, Fender. When something smells, it's usually the butts. We've been saying that about Larry for 26 years now. His ability to attract trouble is legendary, for want of a better word. His ability to cause trouble, too. I suppose I'd better find out what he did this time. Oh, new background. Oh! Haha, you can't escape me now, Larry. I've teleported you to the chess dimension. Our aim is to uncover anything that Larry might be hiding. However, I didn't see anything and I didn't do anything. You can't prove otherwise.
It's almost impossible for him to keep his cool. I'll need to bide my time when he gets agitated and wait for him to calm down. Let's start by asking him to go into detail about what he's doing here. He shouldn't prove to be too much of a challenge, so let's get this over with. Mind chess, commence! Why are you here? Why exactly did you come to the gallery today?
What kind of question is that? What, you think I don't belong in a gallery or something?
Bide my time.
Hey, if you're gonna ignore me, then I'm gonna paint your portrait. When I'm done, I'll scribble all over it.
They're all just bide my time.
I'm joking, okay? I'd never scribble on one of my pieces. How could I? They're valuable artworks.
According to you, perhaps. I imagine I might struggle to agree.
Oh, laugh it up, funny guy. Luckily, some people actually believe in my work.
Bide my time.
She's called Lulu, okay? And she says my pictures are masterpieces. So if she likes something, I'll draw it for her. Anything. Anything at all.
And where is this Lulu? How come you're here alone?
What? A guy can't be a part of his girlfriend for 1 second? I have my own life too, you know?
Why not come here together? How about that? Just admit it. Admit? Oh, this is wrong. That's too bad. What do you mean, edgy? Okay. I didn't think it would upset you so badly. Okay, guess I should watch what I say. Okay. Do we just have to, like... I need to study my opponent's reactions. Yeah, she's his totally real girlfriend. She just goes to a different high school. Yeah, exactly. Why are you here? Okay. Bide my time. Bide my time. Alright. Alright. And bide my time.
Fine. Lulu said she's a Gemini, okay? So I thought I could do a sketch of the statue to show her on our date.
And I expect you're pretty proud of this sketch?
Not so much this time, actually. But you know, it being her sign and all, I just thought maybe she might kind of like it.
Bide my time. Let's see.
What gives, Edgy? If you don't have anything to ask, let me get back to my sketching.
Oh, okay. It was too long. Alright. So we gotta do... Let me just study my... So, we have to get to the very, very end. Okay. And then hit him with that. They're all just scribbles to begin with. No. Okay, so we're gonna work our way to where he talks about the statue. Yeah. Stitch. So you're here for the Gemini sculpture. There we go. How very like you to try to tell me nothing and give so much away in the process. So to summarize, you came here today to draw a sketch of the Gemini statue for your girlfriend Lulu.
What? How did you figure all that out?
From your incessant prattling. You just can't help yourself, can you?
Fine, then I won't say another word.
Larry may want to keep his mouth shut now, but I'll have my answers, one way or another. Let's ask him what he did after he arrived here at the gallery. Alright. We'll soon see what he's hiding. It's just a matter of time. Alright? What'd you do once you got here? Alright, tell me what you did once you arrived here.
But what's the big idea? Why are you staring at me like that? I don't remember. I didn't have a pamphlet, so I didn't know what was where. I just kind of hung around by the fountain.
Bide my time.
What gives, Edgy?
Okay, never mind. So I gotta ask him that you didn't have a pamphlet. Alright. You didn't get a pamphlet? Okay. You didn't receive a pamphlet when you paid your entrance fee at the reception desk?
Huh? You mean entry isn't... It's not free to get in here?
Wait, you didn't pay? You mean to tell me that you entered without paying?
I'm sorry, okay? It wasn't deliberate. There wasn't anybody at the reception desk is all. So I thought entry must be free.
Wait, Miss Bound wasn't at the desk? You're saying Miss Bound wasn't at the reception desk at the time?
Yeah, but it looked like there was maybe somebody in the little room opposite.
Interesting. According to Detective Gumshoe, Miss Bound had to enter the security room to activate the sprinkler system. I expect she wasn't at the reception desk because she was busy responding to the incident.
And right after she finally got the place open for business, too. Poor Judy. The Winter Wing, the gallery's greatest attraction, and it's gonna be ruined now.
You know a lot about it, yeah. You say you don't have a pamphlet, and yet you seem to know all about the Winter Wing. For example, that the Gemini statue you came here to draw just so happens to be in said room. Therefore, it was your intention to visit the Winter Wing all along, wasn't it?
How? How did you get me again? Fine, you're right. I came here for the Gemini statue. And yeah, I came here to visit the Winter Wing. I won't deny it.
Larry's not one to confess so easily. Then again, he's always managed to surprise me in unusual ways. Let's see what more he can tell us about the Winter Wing. I expect even Larry has found his feet a little by now. I'll have to watch his reactions more carefully and see what information I can glean from him. I'm done with you. Go home. What did you see? Did you enter the Winter Wing? Larry, be honest. Did you enter the Winter Wing?
What is that? Is that suspicion I see in your eyes? I tried to get in there, sure, but
yeah, let's talk more. Bad my time. Oh, that's not it. Okay. So we gotta push a little bit harder and pick my responses accordingly. Alright, Winter Wing. Is that... You mean you didn't go in? You tried to get in, but you couldn't?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to get in there, but that old guy came out and fell to the ground, and like I said, it was all pretty shocking.
The victim prevented you from entering? So you were unable to enter the Winter Wing because the victim emerged and collapsed in front of you?
Yeah, he came out of the Winter Wing door, and then down he went.
But wasn't it the Autumn Wing that the victim came out of?
If that stupid poison gas thing had never happened, I'd be in there happily sketching away right now.
Larry seems to have the Autumn and Winter Wings mixed up. Regardless, it seems his aim really was to make a sketch of one of the statues. This could be a useful clue. What did you see in the Winter Wing? What did you see in the Winter Wing, Larry?
You don't let up, do ya? I told you I didn't see anything. Galleries are nice and all, but I kind of changed my mind once I got here. Thought I'd go meet my girlfriend instead.
I think it's time to deploy my clue. So what became of your sketch? Didn't you say you came here to make a sketch of one of the statues for your girlfriend? You gave up on that a little easily, didn't you? Surely you saw something, even if you were distracted by the victim's collapse.
Well, I didn't not see something. But that doesn't prove that I did see something totally terrifying either, does it?
So you saw something totally terrifying, did you? What were you blinking too hard was one of the other ones. Really, Larry? You could at least try to make this a little harder for me. I put it to you, Larry Butts, that you did in fact see something totally terrifying.
How do you do it, Edgy? Are you some kind of mind reader? Fine, I guess there's no point trying to keep it a secret any longer.
That's right, Larry. You're trapped in the chess dimension until you admit it. I'm not sure there's much point in trying to keep any secrets from me, given your track record. I wasn't exactly the most edifying use of my time, but that's checkmate. Mind chess, checkmate.
I couldn't help staring at that Gemini statue. My eyes were drawn to it.
You keep talking about a Gemini statue, but there's no way you saw what you think you saw. It's simply not possible.
What do you mean? You think I saw a ghost statue or something?
Larry's still laboring under the misconception that he was looking at the Winter Wing. This piece of evidence shows us what Larry was really looking at. Let's look at the pamphlet. Take a look at this pamphlet. Because he didn't have one, because he snuck in.
The Autumn Wing features sculptures depicting Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and Aries. Not only that, but I've seen the statue depicting Gemini in the Winter Wing for myself. Which means that whatever you saw, it can't have been a statue of Gemini. Guess that makes sense. Why is he not more surprised by that? It did seem pretty weird now that I think about it. One of the two people did look like a goddess. So the other stuff, I guess that wasn't my imagination either. Other stuff? You're interested in it too, aren't you, Edgy? Great. Let me show you. Show me what exactly? I drew a picture of it all. Got the whole scene down exactly as I saw it. Oh no, not again. But I'm still not that confident in my work, so, well, I want to see. Really? All right, here. What? What on earth? It's grotesque! You're trying to tell me that the statue was crying tears of blood? I have to say, Larice, it's pretty scary. Right? Because it was scary. It was supposed to be a statue of Gemini, but it up and turned into a goddess right before my eyes. It freaked me out so bad I screamed out loud. So he wasn't reacting to the victim collapsing in front of him after all. Wait, when you say it turned into a goddess, what do you mean exactly? What do you mean? What do I mean? The bottom half was suddenly a fish! That's what I mean! A goddess with a fishy bottom half. Sounds like Pisces to me. I heard it's all based on this legend of a goddess and her son turning into fish to escape some baddie. Wow, really? I thought Pisces was just two plain old fish. Edgy, do you think the statue's cursed? Hello, hello. I mean, tears of blood turning into a fish. That's some pretty cursed stuff right there. Don't be a fool. I imagine you simply mistook one statue for the other. Alright, Pisces statue sketch. Oh, look at you tucking it carefully into your organizer. I simply thought I might have a use for it later. Maybe in the bathroom. Oh! You're the worst, Edgy, the worst! Kinda freaky deaky though, huh? A statue with a bottom half that changes shape? I'm pretty keen to find out what went down in the Autumn Wing, aren't you? I suppose I am, yes. Could there be some kind of trick to the Pisces statue, perhaps? Yes, Edgeworth speaking. I'm just about done in here, sir. There's no danger from the gas anymore. You can come in now. Thanks. Good work, Detective. It seems it's finally safe to enter the Autumn Wing. The good detective sure has impeccable timing. Come on, let's go take a look. I want to see this Pisces statue. You going in there, Kay? Then maybe I should come along too. Did you really think I was going to leave you out here on your own? I know better than that. All right, everyone, to the Autumn Wing. Here we are at last. And it really does look a lot like the Winter Wing. Yeah, but they have the fish. Yeah, that's weird. This one should be updated in the court record. I think we got a pretty thorough court record so far. Glad you could make it. Oh, hey there. You're, Harry, was it? Good to see you, Harry. No, for the last time, the name is Maurice Donim. Detective, your report if you don't mind. Yes, sir. Okay, so first off, I found a blowtorch. The nozzle was still warm when I found it, so I guess it was used pretty recently. Was somebody using it to heat something? Maybe. Was the stepladder already like that when you entered? Yeah, I guess it was used by whoever let out the gas. The gas was inside the case until somebody opened the lid. Is that so? The Pisces statue. Huh? You're sure up on your constellations, sir. You know what the one in the other case is, too? This is the Autumn Wing, so I imagine it should be Capricorn. Guess there's no fooling you, sir. I thought it was supposed to be Taurus. That weird cloth that's draped around it kind of tripped me up. Isn't that a piece of the luminous cloth from way back when? What's that doing here?
Now we have evidence from the IS-7 incident too. Okay. Luminous cloth.
Taking a look around. It seems there's a piece of luminous cloth on each of the other cases too.
Yeah, and that just makes me want to see what's hiding underneath real bad.
Sure, let me whip them all right off for you.
Wow, they're beautiful. Huh. So the transformation Larry witnessed, could it have been the moment when the cloth around the Pisces statue lower half fell away?
See, Edgy? See? I wasn't imagining things, and I wasn't mistaken.
Listen, Mouster, I think we can all agree. This room is fishier than a bucket of fish. My hunch is that somebody deliberately tried to make this room look just like the Winter Wing. Yes, I was thinking exactly the same thing. They even covered the statues up in just such a way as to make them look similar. With a cloth over the bottom half, the Pisces and Gemini statues look almost the same. Ditto for Capricorn. Cover his bottom half up, and he looks pretty much like Taurus. The other two can't be fixed as easily, so covering their cases up completely was the only answer. So somebody went to some lengths to disguise the Autumn Wing as the Winter Wing. I'd say we need to take a closer look at things in here. Wouldn't you, Fender? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Mr. Winner and Judge Gavelle.
What the heck are you guys doing here?
You're the last thing I need.
This is my scene, you hear?
Mr. Edgeworth, it seems I've failed in my duty yet again. I pray one day to make you see that your presence is not required at every crime scene.
Oh, that's so... I love it. It's so catty.
And that co-opting the good detective for your own ends is neither right nor good. I will have to give serious consideration as to how the goddess of justice would have me judge you.
You got it all wrong! It was me who asked Mr. Edgeworth to help, not the other way around.
It was? Well then, you know what that means, Detective Flatfoot.
You mean?
Exactly! Your, salary check is taking a hit. Bet you're looking forward to payday now. Always wanted to say that.
Man, getting a wage cut from you, of all people.
Not so fast, Mr. Winner. I was simply assisting with the police's investigation as a witness and a bystander. Detective Gumshoe is entirely in the right.
Oh, he is, huh? So you're saying I should give him a bonus instead?
That's not what I'm saying at all.
Hey, I wouldn't mind a little salary bump.
Your compassion and generosity are truly heartwarming, Eustace. But we must take into account past transgressions when making judgments that concern the future. And I hereby judge Mr. Edgeworth and his associates unfit to tread the hallowed ground of this scene.
What? We only just got here.
The goddess of justice has conferred her blessings on Eustace and Eustace alone. By which you mean, this is Mr. Winner's case?
That's exactly what she means. It's time for the warm-up act to get off the stage. After all, I solved this one already. I have a suspect lined up and everything. What did you say? A suspect already? Who? Who else but your artist friend over there? Huh? Me? Me? What's going on, Edgy?
Your guess is as good as mine. I can't even begin to imagine how that boy's mind works.
Unsurprising that you lack the attitude to understand the winning mindset.
Lack the attitude? Something tells me he doesn't know the real winning turn of phrase. Well put, Eustace. Mr. Edgeworth does indeed lack a certain aptitude.
Yeah, exactly. Where's your aptitude, smart guy?
Wow, he's totally shameless.
underestimate my information gathering skills at your own peril. Before we came here, we dropped by the medical room to ask the doctor there a few questions. And he told me where the poison gas came from.
And where might that have been?
It was, it's this chemical you find everywhere. Can't think of the name just now, though. Wait there a second. Let me just call him real quick. Perhaps I can answer your question while Eustace is on the telephone. Why let him make the call if you know the answer? The gas was created by mixing two specific chemicals. Ubiquium and asphyxian. What kind of chemicals are they? Ubiquium is a red liquid used in all manner of everyday products. Paint and dishwashing liquids, among various others. On its own, it is entirely benign.
So it's something anyone could get their hands on.
Precisely. But the same cannot be said for asphyxian. That does sound nasty. What is it used for? It is the main ingredient in a product called Infesticide Ultra. It is pure white in color and is unavailable to the average consumer. In fact, it is nigh impossible for members of the public to obtain it here in this country. As such, we are currently investigating where it might have come from.
Okay. So it was a mix.
I'm back! And I know the name of the chemical now.
Don't waste your breath. Judge Gavelle informed us already.
Huh? Oh, great. That'll make this quicker, I guess. So the source of the gas, ubiquium, is used in paint and stuff, right? And there was somebody here at the gallery today who brought paints with them. Your friend, the artist. Can't accuse me just because of that. Objection to the paints on that palette in your hand.
Edgy, is this kid okay? He seems a little...
Indeed. I haven't known him long, but he's a little prone to jumping to the wrong conclusions.
Hey, quit talking about me like I'm not even here.
Ignore them, Eustace. They're simply intimidated by you, nothing more. Why not give them yet another reason to fear you with one of your winning deductions?
Winning? Yeah, good idea. Get a load of this, losers. The winner is winning deduction. Okay, I think I'm actually going to stop there for the night because we're about usual time. But we will hear what Mr. Winner has to say next time with his winning deduction, which I'm sure is going to own Edgeworth with facts and logic, and we're going to lose. But yeah, we will pick this up again next week. All right, see you then. Bye.